Psych, no. I don't want no friends, and I don't want anybody ever coming to my house. Like, this is crazy.
Bitch, don't wear no shoes in my house.
Hello, friends. How's everybody doing on this happy Hispanic Heritage Month? Hello. That is the reason why I'm wearing this, okay? This is, believe it or not, this was my father's. I don't know who gave it to him, why, but you already know Puerto Ricans, this is gonna be flipped because I always flip the video for vanity reasons, but you already know Puerto Ricans love their flag down, and I thought what better way than to say happy Hispanic Heritage Month than wearing this jacket. There's a huge Puerto Rican flag on the back. Let me show y'all. Do y'all see this? It literally does not get any more Puerto Rican than this jacket, okay? Hello. Anyway, happy Hispanic Heritage Month to all my Hispanics out there, everybody in the community, Mexican, Cuban, Nicaraguan, El Salvadorian, all of them in between. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month to us, and I hope y'all are turning up and representing your country, because believe it or not, it's not very easy being Hispanic in the United States, but neither here nor there. Represent your country. Let me know y'all's flags down below, and just wanted to put that out there because I'm proud to be Hispanic. So anywho, let's go ahead and get started with this video, because I started off all holly and jolly, but girl, this is not a holly jolly video. I wanted to make this story time when it happened, and I didn't. Number one, because I kind of wanted just to see how things would play out. I wanted to see how things would go. And considering it hasn't gone anywhere, it's dead, I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and just make a story time about it, because this was really crazy. And then I also asked my husband too. I was like, should I make a video about this? He's like, I don't care. So I'm like, you don't care, I don't care. So, and considering this was kind of like his people, he put me in this position. Yeah, I got the green light, so let's go. So let's give you guys some backstory. Let's go ahead and name these people off rip. Let's just get everything under control. So my husband had these two friends, right? I met this girl, and we are gonna call her Chastity. I had met Chastity through my husband, okay? And my husband was cool with her and her husband. So about like 2 or 3 years ago, we had went to her birthday dinner, and that's where I met her and her husband, and we're gonna call her husband Dominic. So I met Chastity and Dominic through my husband, and we had went out for her birthday dinner. Cool. Ever since then, we hit it off very well. Like, I would consider her like a friend, which, just by, you know, my channel, if you've been here for a while, you already know, like, I don't have friends, and like I'm gonna make a more in-depth video about this topic, but it's really easy for people to be like, oh, if you don't have friends, it's your fault, and blah blah blah, like never hang out with somebody who doesn't have friends. But I want to make a whole video talking about like the flip side to that, where it has like nothing to do with like being grimy and stuff. It's just like, I choose not to have friends because of situations like this. Like, I would prefer to not put myself in these positions, because I don't know why I always end up in these positions. So maybe it's just the people I attract, I don't know, but neither here nor there. I'm gonna make a whole other video about that. But right, so I would consider her a friend. We hit it off really well. We would talk, we would hang out. Like, we basically developed like a couples friendship, because we would go out a lot, like as like couples, you know, and I would hang out with her, my husband would hang out with Dominic. Like, it was just kind of like, you know, a cool little group or whatever. So all the time, like, from meeting her, like, and meeting them, never had any problems, never had any issues. They were always really cool, very hospitable, like really, really cool people, like very similar to me and my husband in a way. And so I always thought, like, cool, you know, we have like another friend. And then I also felt like it was also nice to have like a married couple friend, because like, y'all know, like it's just a little bit, when you have like couples on couples, is y'all can relate to stuff, and they were kind of doing the same thing that we were, and you know, that thing. And you know, my husband knew them for a long time, so it was just really easy to like have them around, and they were good company, so I thought. So right, no problems. And to be honest, I'm not even gonna go there. Like, I don't really have any qualms with Chastity. Y'all are gonna see why. It kind of has to do with her, but kind of not at the same time. But y'all are gonna get into it. So from the beginning of our like friendship or whatever, or my introduction to them, I had seen like little things that would like bother me, but I always thought they were just very specific to me. And what I mean by that is like tardiness. Like, right, y'all already know, if you've watched enough of my videos, you know, like I find being tardy very disrespectful. I value my time, I value other people's time, but you know, sometimes they would be like, oh, let's hang out at 6, and 6 would come and be like, hey, do you mind if we hang out at 7? You know, little things that would kind of like irritate me, but not enough to like make us think about it. It's not that big of a deal. And also, like, my husband is very, very like laid back and go with the flow, so he has really shown me a lot that like, because with me it's like, if we have a plan, we need to stick to that plan. So if we said we're gonna meet up at a certain place at a certain time doing a certain thing, like we follow the plan. With him, he doesn't really care. He's more so like go with the flow, like nothing's that big of a deal. So I've kind of like adopted a little bit more of his mentality, because you do end up having a good time. Like sometimes it's just not that deep. So there was a lot of situations where it would be stuff like that, where like the plans would randomly change, the location would change. Things, like I said, that would kind of bother me personally, but nothing that I ever brought up, nothing that I ever felt the need to address, nothing like that. Other than those like small minor details, I really didn't have anything bad to say about Chastity or Dominic. Okay, so like I mentioned, we've hung out before, we went out, we've all had like our interactions with one another. I would consider us friends. Cool. So Chastity and Dominic had bought a house, and we helped them move. We went to like a little housewarming party. We like, you know, were very interactive in that kind of way. And so they bought a house first, and then shortly after, me and my husband bought a house. Well, my husband bought a house, but I live here. So we bought a house. And so Dominic was always like telling my husband, he was like, oh, like, when are you gonna have your housewarming party? We would love to go. We need to celebrate you guys. This is a big accomplishment. Just making it a really big deal about how like we should celebrate, and like this is a milestone, and blah 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 blah. Let me reiterate that multiple times, that Dominic was the one that was very like on top of like, oh, this is something to celebrate. This is a big deal. Like, we need to celebrate it. You guys came to our house. Really driving the point home that he really wants to celebrate us and our accomplishment and yada, yada, yada. Okay. I'm just going to keep reiterating so many things because it is all going to make sense. Okay. So mind you, my husband is not like that. My husband can accomplish so many different things. I'm like, you sneeze and you got over it, we need to celebrate. Like, my family, we celebrate a fart, okay? It's nothing to go out to eat and celebrate whatever. My husband is not that way at all. He thinks a lot of things are just like, why are you gonna, you know, why do you need a congratulations to brush your teeth? Why do you need, like, he's just not that kind of guy. So my husband didn't care to have a housewarming party. He didn't care about none of this. But Dominic was the main person that was just driving this force home. Okay, so he had told my husband, he was like, oh, do you guys, like, are you guys free on Wednesday? And my husband was like, sure, let me ask my wife. He asked me. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. We had set a date for them to come over because, mind you, like, we weren't going to have like a party or nothing. Like, it wasn't anything serious. They just wanted to come over, give us a gift, and then, you know, show them the house, you know, like adult things, I guess. Whatever, we set that time. that time came, that day came, that exact day. So let's just say it was like Wednesday at 6 p.m. Wednesday came and they told, because mind you, a lot of it, like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, they're more so my husband's friends, because I was kind of like a third party. Like, yeah, me and Chastity were cool and everything, but everything was just kind of, most of it was just through Dominic, if I'm being quite honest. But majority of it was just like them and my husband. So they had told him like, hey, we're not gonna be able to make it, we can't come, whatever. Last minute wasn't really a big deal to me, but just okay. It was Wednesday at 6 p.m. They told us on Wednesday that they couldn't come. No issues, no dramas, no issues. So then they were like basically saying like, oh, we need to reschedule, we need to come. Once again, I'm gonna say this 1,010,000 times. They were the ones that wanted to come to my house. They were the ones that made it a big deal about coming over. Okay? They were also the ones to pick the day and pick the time, because my husband told them, yeah, these are the days that we work and these are the days, or these are the times that we're off. So anytime after that, we'll make it work. So they decided Thursday at 4 p.m. Okay, we rescheduled it from the first time. We rescheduled it to Thursday at 4 p.m. Cool. So I had told my husband, I was like, hey, do you think I should go to the store? Should I get like drinks? Because like my mom, when we had like parties and stuff, like my mom was very Susie homemaker. Like she would cook, she would buy drinks, juices, chips, snacks, like so everybody could just have a good time, we could chill, whatever. So I told my husband, I was like, do you think I should go to the store? Do you think I should cook something? Like, what do you think we should do? His exact words to me was, don't even worry about it, because you know how they are. They didn't even come last time, so like don't even try to put too much effort into it. So I was just like, okay, cool, yeah. And he was like, if anything, we'll just go somewhere to eat or we could order food. I was like, bet. Okay, fine. So at this point in time, since they were coming, my husband also had another friend who like they were all cool with. So he invited him over to our house too. So he tells his other friend, we're just gonna name the other friend Jack, because he kind of comes into this, but like kind of not at the same time. So he tells his friend Jack, he was like, hey, I'm inviting Chastity and Dominic over for like a housewarming thing. Do you want to stop by? Because he didn't live that far away from us either. And he was like, okay, yeah, cool. My husband tells Jack Thursday, 4 p.m. Okay, cool. So it comes to the time, it comes 4 o'clock on that Thursday. Jack comes to our house. So he comes in, we're like, hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. Mind you, they're all friends. So like Jack, Chastity, Dominic, my husband, they are all friends. They all know each other. They've been knew each other for years, whatever. So we're all like chilling, and Jack was like, yo, where's Chastity and Dominic? And my husband was like, oh, they're probably like running late or whatever. The last time I talked to Dominic, he said that he was like getting ready and they were about to leave, but that was probably like an hour ago. And my husband is just like, so like, he literally like doesn't care about anything. So opposites attract. He like literally doesn't care about anything. So to him, it's like you could say that you were on your way like 50 hours ago. He's not gonna blow you up. He's not gonna ask you where you are. He's not like, he truly does not care. So he was like, oh yeah, they told me that he was getting ready to leave like an hour ago. And so he was like, I don't know. So then Jack was like, oh my God, that's so typical of them. Like they always do this, they're always late, like whatever. So we gave them some time. So we're just chilling, talking on the couch, just talking about normal, regular stuff. Chastity calls Jack and was like, hey, are you already over there? He was like, yeah, I've been over here. Like, where are y'all at? She's like, oh, I'm 30 minutes away. And he was like, oh, okay, are you with Dominic? And she was like, no. Dominic decided to go in his own car. So they go in separate cars. Okay, whatever. So Chastity calls my husband on FaceTime. Okay? He's like, oh, where are y'all at? She is in the car with her cousin. Okay. I already side-eyed a little bit because I'm like, this is somebody's house. Like, you don't just invite people. Okay, whatever, who cares, right? So she's on FaceTime with my husband, and her cousin is in the car. And she was like, hey, I just wanted to call you to let you know that we went in separate cars because Dominic is on his motorcycle with his brother. And they called me because they wanted to stop to get gas. Okay. Mind you, this is probably at like 5:30 at this point. Okay, so y'all picked the time. Y'all said that y'all were getting ready to leave. You FaceTime us. You have your cousin in your car. Then you tell us that you stopped at a gas station because your husband, Dominic, is on his motorcycle with his brother. So now we just added 2 more people to this equation. Fine. Like, my husband knows, like, I met Dominic's brother before. I've met her cousin before. It wasn't like strangers, but it was just like, okay, whatever. So we're like, where are y'all at? They're like, oh, we just need to stop to get gas real quick. So then Jack was basically like, y'all already are late. Like, what are y'all stopping to get gas for? Blah, 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 blah. We're hungry. Like, what is it? Because Jack was like really just kind of giving it to them a little bit. I was being a little bit more quiet because, like I told y'all, a lot of things piss me off. Like, a lot. It's not hard to set me off, but I do try to like keep myself a little bit more composed because I know that a lot of things like set me off more than other people. And I know that like I can come off a type of way. So I try to really like hold myself back. So Jack was basically going off for me. He was like, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all were supposed to be here an hour and a half ago. Like, where are y'all at and what are you doing? Because we're hungry. Like, what is the deal? So Chastity is just like, oh, I'm just waiting on Dominic. I don't know what Dominic had going on, but I'm just waiting on them. After we're gonna get there, the GPS says we're only 30 minutes away. And Jack was like, y'all said that y'all were 30 minutes away like an hour ago. And she was like, oh no, it's him. It's that he keeps wanting to stop. Like, I don't know what's going on. And so as we're on FaceTime, mind you, we're all like talking to them through FaceTime, okay? As we're talking on FaceTime, Dominic and his brother pull up to the camera and they're like, oh, we're on our way. And then my husband was like, should we like order food? Should we wait? And they're like, oh no, we got alligator bites at the gas station. So they stopped at a gas station. And this is like the part where it's just like, what is going on? I'm just as confused as y'all, by the way. Like, I'm not like leaving parts out of the story. Like, I'm not like confusing anything. I'm just as confused as y'all. They said that they stopped. They were like, oh no, we're not hungry because we stopped at the gas station and we have alligator bites. So they bought fried alligator at the gas station. I don't know. Whatever. So we're like, okay, well, we might as well just go get some food since you guys, like, we were waiting on you guys to eat, but since you guys stopped at the gas station and got food, like, we might as well just go get it on our own. So they're like, okay, yeah, we're 30 minutes away. We'll be there, blah, 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 blah. So we hang up the phone. Me, Jack, and my husband were like, okay, well, we might as well just go get some food because they're taking forever and they already ate. So there was a Mexican restaurant that we were like, oh, do you guys just want to go get Mexican? We go to the Mexican restaurant. When we get there, they say it's like a 45-minute wait. So we're like, whatever, like, nah, we'll just go somewhere else. So we end up going to a wing spot where Jack ordered basically like a party catering size of chicken wings, fries, stuff like that. He was like, I got it since it's y'all's housewarming party. Like, I'll pay for it, whatever. So he orders like platters of chicken, okay? So mind you, we ordered at that place. Like, we walked in, we ordered it. We were waiting for the wings. So we're sitting down, we're waiting for the wings. We're just chilling. We're just talking. Okay, cool. So before we like figured out that they were, that the Mexican restaurant was going to take 45 minutes, we had sent them a text message of the address to the Mexican restaurant saying, hey, if y'all like are close, just come to the Mexican restaurant because we're not at the house. Okay. Then they never responded. Then the Mexican restaurant didn't have, like, it was like a 45-minute wait, whatever. We decided to leave. We went to the wing spot. While we were waiting for the wings, Jack calls Chastity and was like, hey, we're not at the house. We're waiting on the wings. So you guys, if you get to the house, just wait for us. We'll be there. So Chastity was like, okay, I'm almost by the house. At that time, our chicken was done and we were on our way back to the house. So then Dominic calls Jack and was like, hey, where are you? And he was like, oh, we got chicken. We're on our way back to the house. And so at that time, right? By the way, like after all of this, it's probably like 7:30 p.m. Okay. So Dominic calls Jack and was like, hey, we're almost to the house. Like, where are you guys at? Like, what are you guys doing? And Jack was like, oh, we got wings. We're on our way back to the house. And so basically Dominic put it upon himself to make a comment being like, oh, we didn't come all this way, because they don't live close to us, but like they live like an hour or two away. He makes a comment saying, oh, we didn't come all this way to eat at a restaurant. We came to see their house. And Jack was like, okay, well, we got food. We're on our way back to the house. We'll meet up at the house. Mind you, these are guys. My husband's very late. Like, everything to my husband is just like, whatever. He doesn't care. To me, that comment already set me off. What are you talking about? You didn't drive all the way to go eat at a restaurant. You came all the way to see at our house. First of all, you're late. What are you saying anything for? You picked the time to get here. You picked the time to be 4 p.m. and it's already 7:30. You thought we were just going to wait around for you at our house? Like, so I was already, okay, you're late. There's like a million people coming. And now you're trying to make a comment about you didn't drive all this way to go to a restaurant. Okay. I'm trying to keep it chill. Trying to compose myself, whatever. So we all literally pull up at the same exact time. Chastity pulls up and me and my husband and Jack pull up to the house. Okay. Chastity has a Jeep Gladiator. And y'all know it has like a truck bed in the Gladiator. So I see Chastity pull up with a dog cage in the back. And what is in this dog cage? A husky. They brought their husky. Okay, so I'm just like, okay, okay. She gets out the car and she's just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, this wasn't supposed to be this way. Like, I wanted to leave earlier, but Dominic was like, no, he made me wait for him, yada, yada, yada. Going back and forth, basically telling me like, oh, I'm so sorry, this, that, and the third. All right, whatever. Her and her cousin get out the car and they're basically like parked in the street. Dominic pulls up with his brother. They are both in motorcycles. Or they are both driving motorcycles. Keep that in mind. So they get out and they're like, oh, we're so sorry. We're late, blah, 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 blah. And I'm already side-eyeing Dominic because it's like, I heard your little comment. So like, let's relax. So they get off their motorcycles. We're like, doing our pleasantries. Hey, how's everybody doing? Yada, 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 whatever. So my husband was like, hey, we moved the cars. So like, why don't you just park the Gladiator, just back the Gladiator in to the driveway? We have room, whatever. I just kind of like, at the end of the day, like, these are really like my husband's friends. I am just like, this is you. These are your people. You know them more than I do. Like, yeah, I know them, like, but I don't know them like that kind of thing. So I'm like, these are your people. So I'm just gonna like take the backseat on this. And so I'm just chilling, talking to Jack. Like, we're having our own, like, we're all outside at this point. I'm having like my own side conversation with Jack, okay? In the midst of us just talking, all you hear is a Dominic backs the Gladiator into my husband's truck. Backs the Jeep Gladiator into my husband's truck, which my husband just got work done on his truck. He just changed the headlights and the bumper. So obviously, like any person, which is crazy to me because of how like chill, like my husband will not yell. He doesn't yell. He doesn't like, you can't get a rise out of him. The fact that you backed your car because you're not paying attention, mind you, because he had the window down and he was talking, doing all this craziness. The fact that you were not paying attention and you backed into my husband's truck and you hit it, obviously anybody is going to give you a reaction. So my husband was like, "What, yo, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You need to pay attention." Okay? To me, that was a very subdued reaction. But the fact that you even got this man to yell was crazy. So that happens, right? Dominic gets out of the truck and my husband goes to look at the truck because like we're not next to the cars per se, but like we're close enough. Like it's in the driveway, but we're closer to our front door, okay? So my husband runs to his car and he was like, "Dude, I just changed the headlights. I just did this work. Like, how are you gonna back into the truck?" Do y'all know this man Dominic is gonna be like, "Oh, it's because Chastity was talking to me. Like she didn't allow me to pay attention." You are grown as hell. You are a grown man talking about you can't, you backed into a whole F-150 truck because it's your wife was talking to you, dude. I'm telling y'all, my heart is, I'm ready to fight. So my husband looks at his truck. There wasn't any damage. I mean, he was backing up, whatever. So there wasn't any damage to it. There wasn't anything. So Dominic was like, "Yo, dude, like, I'm so sorry. It's my bad. Like, I'm so sorry, whatever." My husband was like, "It's fine. Like, I saw, like, nothing happened. There's no issue, whatever." My husband gets over it, which is so great for him. I love that for him. I wish I was that person. Needless to say, we try to go ahead and go on with the night. So after he backs into my husband's truck, everything's cool. We start going inside. Before we go inside, Dominic unleashes his husky. Now, I'm a dog person. I love dogs. I have a dog of my own. I feel like it's very rude and very disrespectful for you to not ask if you can bring your dog to my new house, as well as just unleash it without any kind of like anything. Like you didn't even address the fact that you brought your dog to my house, but you're just gonna let it go. And it's a husky, bro. Like a full grown husky. Mind you, I just got my dog. Like I literally just got my dog. My dog is a beaver terrier. It's a tiny little thing. At the time, it was a puppy. I don't know if your dog is vaccinated. I don't know if your dog is friendly. I don't know anything about your dog. But you're going to bring it to my house, to my puppy. Like, okay, my puppy was in his cage, right? Left it in his cage. I was like, okay, whatever. Mind you, I'm really trying. I don't even know why I was trying to be so nice, especially after this. Like, I really don't know why. I don't get it either. Trust me. So I let this dog like in the house or whatever. Immediately the dog goes jumping on our couch, goes like, you know, it's a dog. Jumping on the couch, running around, doing all this craziness, whatever. My dog is in the cage. So once everybody's inside the house, they're asking me like, "Oh, what kind of dog is it? Blah, 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 whatever." And Dominic was like, "Why don't you just let the dog out?" And I was like, I don't know. Like, your dog is kind of big. Like, I don't know. And mind you, the husky was like very friendly. The husky was not aggressive or anything at all. A husky, my dog. A husky, my dog. So I'm just like, I don't know, whatever. So I take my dog out because Chastity wanted to see him. And I was like, oh yeah, but she's like afraid of dogs, low key, which whatever, like whatever. How you have a husky, you're afraid of dogs, I don't know. So I let Chastity see my dog. I let Jack see my dog. Everybody's kind of in our house now. They want to see the puppy. I'm like showing them my puppy or whatever, but I am not letting this puppy go. Like I take the puppy out to show everybody because everybody was like intrigued and wanted to know about him or whatever. I'm showing him, okay, cool, whatever. I'm holding my dog. Like I'm holding him like this because at the end of the day, like I don't care how friendly your dog is. I don't even know if your dog is vaccinated or not. And this is a literal puppy. as well as like your dog is like 50 times my dog size. Like, and I didn't, also that's a thing too, like I haven't socialized my puppy yet. I just got him, so like I don't even know how he reacts to other dogs. I don't know how he is around them. Like, we're still trying to get to know each other. So I'm holding my dog like the entire time, and then I put him back into the cage. Please remember that. The night goes on, we're doing home tours, we're talking, we're chilling, everything is cool. And mind you, Dominic is in my face the whole time. This man is in my face talking about some, oh, congratulations, this is such a big deal, yada, yada, yada. Okay, cool. We have like music playing, we're all talking, we're eating the wing. Dominic had brought this bottle of, I don't even know what it was. I don't know if it was whiskey, bourbon, whatever. My husband's not a drinker like that. I'm not really a drinker like that either, but you know, when in Rome, do as the Romans. You brought a bottle, I'm not gonna say no, kind of thing. He brings this bottle of whatever liquor that was, and so we're like pouring it for everybody just to kind of do like a celebratory, like, hey, like, congrats, you know, kind of thing. So everybody gets a shot, everybody, you know, we pour it up, whatever, we cheers, take a shot, okay, cool, right? Dominic starts pouring like more shots for everybody, and my husband was like, hey, I don't want one because I have to work tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, I don't even know what he got, bro, but that it was so disgusting. And I was like, yeah, no thank you, I'm good, like I'm good. So then he just continues. He was like, no, we need to keep pouring shots, like we need to finish the bottle, we opened the bottle, and so he's just being like so like annoying about it. He's just like, oh, we need to take another shot, another shot. And I'm just like, no, I'm good, like I'm good. I don't like what you got. Like I'm trying to be respectful in my own house, bro. I'm trying to be respectful, and I'm like, oh no, like it's cool, like I don't want that. And so my husband was like, no, like my husband has no issue with being rude to people. Like he does not care. I truly aspire to be like my husband every single day of my life. And so he's just like, no, I told you I don't want it, it was nasty, like I don't like it. So he's continuing to be like, oh, like we need to take a shot, mind you, in the middle of all that, he's still like in my face, like he's still like, oh my god, this is such a good time, this is a celebration. I'm talking to his brother because like I told y'all, like I've spoken to his brother before, I've spoken to the cousin before. I got over most of the issues that were happening. I got over it, you know, still trying to have a good night, still talking. At this point in the night, other than the fact that he was being annoying about like the shots or whatever, it was whatever. Like I overlooked a whole lot of things. I still wanted to have a good time, and I genuinely was having a good time. Jack, me, the cousin, the brother, we were all just, you know, chilling, talking. I'm talking to Chastity. We're talking about how we want to furnish the home. Like at the end of the day, like at that point in time of the party, mind you, it was like 11 o'clock at night at this point. Everything that like happened beforehand was kind of just like over with. We're enjoying each other's company at this point. It's 11:30 at night. I had to work tomorrow, my husband had to work tomorrow, Jack had to work tomorrow. Mind you, they have a very unconventional job, so like they can be out at any hours of the day, night, whatever, because the way that their job is. Jack was like, all right guys, like it was cool seeing y'all, thank you so much, but I'm gonna start heading out. So Dominic was like, oh, why are you heading out so early? Like it's only 11:30, blah blah blah. He's like, yo, I gotta wake up at like 6 a.m. Like I was planning on leaving here at 8:30 anyway, y'all came late, so that's why I'm leaving now. So Dominic was basically like, you know, like, oh, stay, blah, blah, blah. And so Jack was like, no, like, y'all came super late. I wanted to chill with y'all. We chilled. Congratulations, Samantha. Cool. He left. All right, cool. Mind you, Dominic just kept making like a really big point. He's like, oh, why did he leave so early? Why did he leave so early? Now I'm looking at my husband. I'm like, this fool is really thinking that 11:30 is early on a weekday. Like, no. So then my husband was like, yeah, y'all. He kind of took the opportunity that Jack was leaving and be like, hey, y'all, like we have to work tomorrow. Like, let's wrap this up. So we're like, okay, like, it was so nice seeing y'all, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And Dominic had made a comment. He was like, I mean, we could just spend the night. Like, if it's really, like, that late, we could just spend the night. And I'm just like, spend the night where, sir? Like, you don't, like, telling y'all, just wait. So he makes the comment of being like, oh, we can just spend the night if it's that late. And I look at my husband and I'm just like, and he was like, no, we have to work tomorrow. Like, we don't even have anything set up. We don't have like a guest room yet. Like, there's nowhere for y'all to stay. So like, you know, get out. Finally, like, we moved the party outside. Like, we're migrating outside. They get their husky, they're setting everything up, everybody's good to go. Okay, cool. So at this point in time, we're all outside and we're talking and we're chatting and everything's like good to go. Everything was cool, I guess, for that moment, but me and Chastity are talking about like home decor. We're talking about IKEA. We're like Googling where IKEA is. Like, we're just so like far removed from like the guys we're talking about, but we were outside. So finally, she's like, okay, well, I'll see you later, whatever. She gets in her car. They load up the husky in the cage. They, you know, her cousin is in the car. They're like ready to go. Like, they are already, you know, ready to leave. Dominic and his brother are talking and they're basically like, oh, like, you guys, like, we need to start planning stuff, blah, blah, blah. And like, it was honestly to the point where it's just like, okay, dude, like, your wife is in the car, the cousin's in the car, the dog is in the car. Like, mind you, they came in motorcycles. Not one jacket was put on, not one helmet was put on. So we're just, you know, my husband's like, all right, man, like, see you later, like, talk to you later, blah, 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 blah. They're still not getting the hint. So at that point, my husband was like, hey, yo, like, we have to work tomorrow. It's already late. Like, we'll see you another time. Like, we'll plan something later. So he's like, oh, okay, yeah. Mind you, this entire time, like, from throughout the entire night, this fool was in my face talking about some, oh, this is so amazing. I love your house. We need to plan this. We need to plan that. Yada, yada, yada. Like, he finally, like, Chastity pulls off with the cousin and the dog, and now they get on their motorcycles. Now they have like those, I don't know cars and I don't know stuff, but they have those really, really loud motorcycles. So he gets on the motorcycle with his brother and they start revving the engine. Mind you, we live in a residential area with an HOA. It is now at this point like 12:30 in the morning. You decide that you are going to rev your engine or whatever that thing is. You are going to make it so that it's so freaking loud. And mind you, he's like laughing. He's like revving it with his brother. And he was like, ha 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 ha. And my husband's like, stop doing that. Because I was just like, stop. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop. And he was like, all right, like, plays it off like it's no big deal. He's like, all right, bye guys, like, have a good night. Revs his engine, takes off. Him and his brother take off. Now, in our neighborhood, it was still like, this is a new like construction area, and especially at the time, their roads were paved, but there were no houses. Like, our street and stuff had houses, but it was still in like that new construction phase. So there was like hella road, and like, I guess, sure, if you're like an 18-year-old boy who has nothing better to do, yeah, it was the most perfect place for you to do all the tricks you feel like doing with your motorcycle, right? He took that as a thing. So we leave they leave, and me and my husband go back inside the house. As we're inside the house cleaning up the kitchen or whatever, we are hearing, like, y'all know that noise where it's like, meow, meow, meow. We keep hearing that like over and over and over again. And my husband was like, I bet you that's them. And I was like, of course that's them. Like, I was already telling my husband, like, just no respect. Like, no respect at all. Like, I don't know what it is. Mind you, we're all from different cultures. So I'm just like, I don't know if it's like a cultural thing. I don't know what it is. But like, there's just no respect to be had. They're like going, you hear it. Like, it's super, super loud. Because mind you, they like souped up their motorcycles anyway. So it's already loud because it's a motorcycle. But they did something to it to make it extra loud. So we go outside and we're just hearing it. So my husband calling him. They're not answering, obviously, because they're on the motorcycle. So whatever, we're like outside and we're like, what the heck? Like, that's so messed up. So we go back inside, y'all. Why is there a police car outside of our home? Obviously, it's 12:30 in the morning. You decide that you're gonna start racing and ripping and running all over this. This is the first time. This is our new neighborhood, our new house. We don't know any of our neighbors. They don't know us. This is the first time we have people over. You already caused a commotion when you backed into my husband's truck. Already brought all these people to our house that we didn't invite. You brought your dog. And then you leave. You start doing all this stuff with your motorcycle. And now we have the police called to our house. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like the police, like we got interrogated or anything like that. It was 2 patrol cars. One of them, they had like their lights on or whatever. And we had went inside. So, I don't know, like maybe it was just like a neighbor complaint or whatever. But it was just like obvious. It was very obvious that the police were called because of us. Like there was nobody else outside. There was nothing else going on. It was obvious that the neighbors called the police on us for like a disturbance. So nothing happened with that. Like the police didn't come to our house. They didn't question us or anything. We went right inside and we acted like we were just another thing of neighbors. Because at that point, like there was nobody outside. Like our garage was open. There was nobody like for us to be questioned. So we saw that the cops like were patrolling the area or whatever. And we're just like, are you serious? Like just to end the night off of everything, the cops got called. Like, so after all that, okay, I was already like, yeah, they're never coming to our house. Like, that was ridiculous. And like I said, I didn't really have any issues with Chastity because she didn't really do anything wrong. Like, I mean, other than bringing her cousin, but like the cousin thing, I met him before, so it wasn't really a stranger, but it was just like, I didn't really have any issues with her. It was more so Dominic. Do you guys know? You guys know, after all of that, this man calls Jack and tells Jack that he has never felt so disrespected and so unwelcomed by me and my husband. He said, we invited them over. We weren't even at the house when they pulled up. We didn't have food. I didn't cook anything. We didn't even offer them anything while we were at the house. He brought a bottle that we didn't even drink, and he thought that that was really disrespectful because that was like his way of like congratulating us. He got yelled at. He said that he felt so disrespected that my husband would ever yell at him over him accidentally backing into his truck. He said that he felt that I was disrespectful to even, like, I didn't let my dog next to his dog, and what does he think? That his dog is dirty, that his dog is untrained, and he felt so offended that I didn't let my puppy next to his dog, the same dog that you didn't even ask to bring, that you just unleashed in my brand new house. Okay? Then he goes on to say that he found it so disrespectful that he would drive all the way to our house and we didn't offer them for them to stay the night, knowing that it was late. Knowing that it was late. So let me get this straight, right? You chose Thursday at 4 p.m. You decided to get to our house at 8 p.m. You expected a full course meal apparently to be served and prepared by me. Got offended that it wasn't, and that we went and got food after you made that little comment about like, oh, you didn't come out here. And I knew it. Felt so offended by that. You bring your dog, you bring your brother, you bring your motorcycles. You decided to do all this stuff. You're trying to like make us drink when we already told you we don't want to. You do all of this, but mind you, all up in my face, telling me, oh, congratulations, and we need to do this, and we need to do that, and yada, 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 all this. You get the cops called to our brand new house with our brand new neighbors who don't even know us like that. And yet you are offended by us. So Jack was like, basically told him all this stuff. He was like, no, we were waiting for y'all, blah, 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 whatever. So then Jack calls my husband and was like, hey, I just want to let you know that Dominic is like talking mad shit about y'all, basically saying that like, you know, that what y'all did was disrespectful. Basically the rundown that I just told y'all. So my husband calls Dominic and was like, what is it? Like, what's your problem? Like, what are you trying to say? My husband goes off on him, right? My husband goes off on him because like, how do you do all that stuff to somebody and have the nerve to call somebody else to talk bad about us? So my husband goes off on him. Do you know this fool had the nerve to say that we are no longer welcomed in his house? He's never felt so offended and so disrespected, and basically like we're no longer welcomed at his house, and he used the word, we are forbidden. We are forbidden from coming to his house because, mind you, okay, we've been to their house plenty of times. They want to invite us. Mind you, they don't have conventional jobs, so they can be up at whatever time at night and they can do whatever it is that they feel like it, right? We have been to their house. We've stayed as late as we can. Mind you, I told y'all they live like an hour away. So all this stuff, but he got offended because we always leave the party early. We never bring food. We never bring drinks. We never bring none of that stuff. Mind you, I'm so big on that. I'm always telling my husband, like, you don't come to somebody's house empty-handed or whatever. And he's like, oh, like, I always talk to Chastity about it. Chastity tells us not to bring it, yada, yada, yada. Because I also asked Chastity, I'm like, hey, should we bring something? And she'd be like, no, don't worry about it. We got everything. So it's like, don't sit here and act like we just come to your house to mooch off of your stuff, okay? He's like, you're saying all this stuff, and now we are forbidden from coming to your house because we always leave early. We never bring anything, and he always opens up his house to us, and how dare us not open our house the same way to him. Once my husband goes off on him, he basically tells us that we are forbidden from his house, and that's the end of that and all this other stuff. When I tell y'all, I have never wanted to spit on somebody. I have never wanted to just like, and all I told this man, I ended the conversation with this man because I did take the phone. I'm like, dude, anytime I see you, you and me are always gonna have a problem. Like, because the circle that my like cousin runs in, like, we kind of all run into each other at the same time. Like, we're okay because they've known each other for so long. Their circles are very interconnected with one another. So like, one knows the other knows the other, kind of thing. So it's just like, we are bound to see each other again. But trust and believe, sir, if I ever see you again, it will always be a problem. Like, I'm just like, oh, like, this is why I don't do this with people. Like, this is exactly why I don't have friends. This is exactly why I don't, like, how in the world do you invite other people? You set the time. You decided to come 4 hours late. You bring other people that weren't invited. You bring your dog. You try to force your drinking upon us when we told you that we don't want it. Then you're gonna sit here, hit my husband's truck, say you got offended because he got mad at you for backing into his truck. This is why I don't have friends. I was like, dude. And the thing is, right, like, the craziest part is, like, he's like so problematic. Like, Dominic has gotten in problems with so many other people. Like, him and Jack are not even cool like that. Before this whole even thing started, it's like, you caused so many problems. And the thing is, like, all these people are friends with Chastity. So it's like, you cause all these issues, and it sucks because you like drag your wife into this and like nobody really wants to be around you, but like nobody's not gonna hang around you know what, it's like you make it so sticky for other people. But I'm just like, okay, right, I get that that's your man and like your man is the one that's causing a lot of these problems, but I kind of have to look at you sideways. Like, I don't really want to hang out with you either because your man causes all these problems. And then it's like, oh my God. After that, I'm like, yeah, psych, no. I don't want no friends and I don't want anybody ever coming to my house. Like, this is crazy. And the fact, like, sir, I don't want to be, you're literally complaining that we leave your house early and you're going to sit here and be like, I forbid you from coming to my house. Nobody wants to go to your house, sir. Like, oh my God, I'm really like, oh my God. And I'm like, to sit here and be all up in somebody's face and talk, if you felt all of that before you left my house, why didn't you say it to my face? Because I would have really went off on you, sir. I would, to be real, I would have just spit on you then. But anyway, that is exactly why one of the million trillion reasons why I do not have friends, and now why I don't invite anybody over to my house, because this was crazy. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in, ow, I like bit my lip. Oh my God. I will see you in my next video. Bye.